We are going to take a look of what really is required beyond appearances and get to the essence of what you need to do in order to change your reality. And when I say your reality, you heard me absolutely correctly. This is about your reality, never mind the state of the world. Before we go on, I just want to refer you to the risk disclosure, as always, which you find in the bottom in the writing section of this video. Um, Okay, as in trading, so it is in life. It has really become my very favorite motto because really what we are discussing here, and I know most of you are traders and investors who are following me, it is a philosophy that is extremely robust, and by that I mean it applies across the board in all areas of life. And really, what we do in one area of life is no different from what we do in another area of life, but for appearances. Therefore, when you look at the outside world and you decide or think you need to decide between Democrats or Republican, between white or black, between good or bad on the outside world in order to change your own world is but an illusion. I could also say it is putting reality back to front. Ultimately, the journey is only about one thing, and the journey, and that's the incredibly beautiful thing, is about you. It begins with you and it ends with you, because you, as the individual, have got direct influence over the collective creation at large. In other words, each one of us are contributing to the state of our Earth. Whether we are doing it consciously or unconsciously is a different matter. We'll come to that in a moment. So, therefore, if we can accept this premise, this means that rather than focusing excessively, as most of you do, I know, on external events, watching your Twitter account, your Facebook account, and all the other multimedia, social media possibilities which are open to us to gather information. Really, the main dominant focus should be on you, should be on focusing on how you feel. And of course, I know what you're going to say now. At some level, you know how you feel. You are anxious, you are frightened, you are angry, you are overwhelmed, and ultimately, you don't really know what to do, which is the direct consequence of brain incoherence. Chronic brain incoherence. The state of the world as we are experiencing at the moment has thrown larger than I ever imagined possible numbers of people into complete and total brain incoherence. And it's a very, very sorry thing to see. It shocked me because not only has this collective appearance of complete overwhelm contributed to lowering the grid dramatically, it's affecting all areas of society. It's affecting politics. It's affecting economics. And hey, of course, for those of you who are traders and investors, it will be affecting your daily decision making processes. It will be affecting how you are looking at making an investment or making those trades. In other words, when you are in incoherence, meaning when you are in fear, in anger, in frustration, in mental overwhelm, you cannot make decisions because with your emotions you make your world. Therefore, the very first thing in order to pull yourself out of the fix is to become aware of your feelings. Your feelings and your emotions are intrinsically linked. Yeah, I could also say they are one and the same thing. Now, the big issue, of course, is your evolutionary development. In Kuebler Ross's terms, we go through different levels of evolution, both as individuals and, of course, on the larger scale of things. And most people are stuck in what is called the concrete operational level. The concrete operational level is great when everything is kind of, shall we say, tickety-boo, and things are moving along, because in concrete operational, you will be doing things, you are looking at reality as if it were real, it is the only thing that is real, and you will have very little understanding of the larger multi-dimensional creation process, which takes place, of course, in the subtle energy field, because you will not be aware, whilst you are in concrete operational, that only a mere 4% of overall existence takes place in the four-dimensional. You are, in other words, completely immersed in the belief that the three dimensions, the material world, in other words, is the only thing there is. Well, that view, of course, is incorrect, because, as I said, the vast dominant part of all our existence, even though you are not aware of it, is taking place in the unseen. Therefore, if you want to create a new reality, if you want to bring your vision into the 3D experience, you have to start always, without exception, in the subtle energy field. The subtle energy field, again, is the field of your feelings, it is the field of your emotions, and it is the field of your inner vision. So, how do we get to this? One way is meditation. And it is probably the easiest way. And meditation, by the way, don't be put off, because I know most people get very, very frightened when they hear the word meditation. It sounds of very complex mental gymnastics, but actually it need not be like this at all, because you can sit down and meditate for 15 minutes a day simply by quieting your mind and listening to the voice of somebody else, as you are listening to my voice now, and allowing yourself to relax into the process, because the voice, in this case my voice, of course carries energy. And as I have been doing this work for a long time, what I am doing with everything I record, whether this is the video you are watching now or an audio, you are taking on information through the vibration of my voice, and you are receiving into every cell of your body the vibration of my own energy field. So if my energy field appeals to you and it resonates with your energy field, the impact is compounded. In other words, you will be relating to what I am saying, you will be able to take it on board, and you will be learning the principles which I am making available as teachings to all my followers. You will find it so much easier to learn these principles, understand them, adapt them, and ultimately make them your own in your own life. So the process can actually be very, very simple. And it needs to be simple in this dystopian world where everybody's brain seems to be in complete overwhelm. So we got to make it easy. And we want to make it easy because we want those of us who have been walking this path for a long time, and I certainly have. I have been on this path, well, probably since my teenage years, and of course evolved and developed and learned new strategies and new ways of doing things, and ultimately making things easier, which is the beauty of it as you become more accomplished in understanding how something works, you can also make it easier, which then helps other people. This is what we are after. This is certainly what I am very much engaged in, and it's very close to my heart to help more of you to make the transition, which is really what we are ultimately talking about, from the immersion in the concrete operational state, which is the three-dimensional state, in other words, to the fifth dimension. Unfortunately, in order to get to that fifth dimension, you have to cross through the not so comfortable period of the fourth dimension. Now, the third dimension, typical behaviors are judgment, blame, being opinionated, criticism, self-criticism, and criticizing others. Now, on the fifth dimension, these behaviors fall away, giving way to, for the want of a better word, an increased singularity, a unity from a spiritual sense. Spiritual here meaning nothing else but that subtle energy element, which effectively is 96% of your being. It is 96% of the cosmos, and it is ultimately, whether you know it or not consciously, it is 96% of everything you are doing. The 4% you think is 100% of who you are and what you are doing is always, always the end of a creative cycle and the end of the cycle of life. But you don't experience it like this. You think it is all there is. So we need to get out of this. Meditation, by listening to the voice of somebody who is contemplating different subjects. That's what meditation is all about. So what we are doing, we are contemplating ourselves. We may be contemplating the heart energy. We may be contemplating the energy of feeling ourselves. We may be contemplating the energy of feeling a situation, an event, another person, a flower, the flowing of a river, the energy of an animal. So, in other words, what I am saying to you here is that meditation, in its very essence, is about learning to feel energy. And when you learn to feel energy, something very magical actually is happening, because you are beginning to come out of the immersion into your habitual state. You are no longer like the fish that doesn't know that it is in water, because it's never been out of the water. It only knows what it's like to be in water, and therefore the fish and the water are one. When you come out of this immersion, or any form of immersion, here we are talking about the immersion into your habitual self, or how you see yourself, you are suddenly becoming aware that there is an energy field around you, which is you. That energy field is local and non-local, because you can take it and put it somewhere else, or it can reside through focus in certain areas. Now, that is, of course, a higher form of transformation, because once you learn, first of all, to feel your own energy, and then start to differentiate between your energy, other energies around you, you tune into the energy of events and other people, which is, by the way, great when you are dealing with other people, and it's great when you are negotiating, and it's great when you are wanting to discern the beginning of a new trend, for an investment, or for a trade, or just feel your way into the changes of this major, major global shift that is upon us right now. So once you can do this, you are starting to read meaning feeling energy, you are becoming freer from that need to judge, to blame, to criticize, to evaluate, to compare, because you are giving yourself over to the experience of the energy. Now, the energy as such is neutral, it is just a feeling, which then has at another level, on the 4% material level, it has got physical things attached to it. So when you can see that difference, all of a sudden you have moved away from the third dimension into, probably making little arrays into the fifth dimension. The difficulty is you probably won't be able to hold that energy initially very long. This needs practice, of course, and anything that's worth doing will need practice. Rome was not built in a day. Nothing is built in a day. Everything ultimately is a process, because you have to prepare your own inner energy body, your own body matrix, to hold the lighter energies. That means you are becoming less material, you're becoming less matter, and you are becoming more energy. You are holding less of the old conditioning, the old codes by which humanity has been ruled for thousands and thousands of years. So that takes some doing, undoing this, and gently training the mind into the higher vibrations. That's really what we are talking about, and it can be done. And this is really the ultimate you can do for yourself now, and it's a choice. Nobody can make the choice for you. All I can do is do my best to explain the process to you and what is required, so that you can make an informed choice on whether or not you choose to walk this path and to walk this journey, which I sincerely hope you do, because it will make so many things of your life so much easier. It'll ease all suffering, and of course it'll speed up the transformative process. It will not take away what is going on in the world per se. However, in making the conscious choice to move out of the immersion of your three-dimensional concrete operational reality into the higher realms of 5D, you are directly contributing to a vision for a better world. How can it possibly get any better than that, I ask you? Side effect also is, once you transmute the third dimension and get more and more into 5D, it is a truly regenerative process, where you are regenerating every single cell of your body. So to me, that is certainly worthwhile. I am very much invested. It is, to me, right now, more important than anything else to help as many people, sharing my experiences and giving you tools that help you on the journey, and make the change as quickly and as easily and effortlessly as possible, enjoying it, because when you can enjoy the process, and you will, because it feels good, you'll be wanting to do more of it, and it becomes easier, and the change becomes faster. So I have on my website mental strategies for traders. By the way, I always say this these days, not just for traders. Um, I have got several meditation programs, and I have just recently launched a new meditation program, which is very much for those of you who are new to the journey, who are wanting to get in, become a part of this fifth dimensional reality we are all moving into, and want to actively participate in it. It's very, very beautiful, because this program takes you out of the immersion in the externals and reunites you literally with yourself. That's what it's all about, with feeling your energy. And in doing so, one thing I have not mentioned yet, which I will bring to the table here, is that it reconnects you to the essence of you that is the creator essence, which we have all lost along the way to a larger or lesser degree. And that's why we are where we are at. So by just feeling the energy, just pulling yourself back inside of you, for the want of a better word, you will be reuniting with the essence of you, and that in turn strengthens you and makes you more powerful. It shines your inner sun, your inner light, and it helps you with the true connection to what is truth, what is of value, of true value, which ultimately is not the money in your bank account as well, you know. It is the true value above all and everything is you, the essence of you, the core of you. So we need to go back to purification of all this stuff that has overlaid the beauty of you, the essence of you, so that you can come to an appreciation of who you really are, that you can come to an appreciation that yes, it is possible, you can love yourself, you are a loving being that deserves looking after, that deserves caring for, and above all, that deserves investing in terms of time and love and practices that give you your true essence back, so that you then can shine an energy field that contributes to the benefit of the world, if you like. The benefit actually ultimately goes much, much beyond the world. So if more people are choosing to do this, we can make this transition to a better world so much faster. And let me say in closing, this is again, we mentioned at the beginning, it is beyond choosing what is right or wrong out there in the world. Let's draw ourselves away from this. We all need a break from this dystopian reality and begin to learn to focus on what is true and of essential core truth of us and reconnect with this. So I invite you to go to Mental Strategies for Traders and look up the links to my meditations. I think that would be a really cool step to begin your journey. And also, I encourage you to sign up to my newsletter, because I do regular educational webinars, which you may find very helpful as well along the path. Thank you for watching this video. If you like it, please share it and stick a little like on it. Thank you.